For some couples, the absolute dream of a lifetime is to go backpacking in a foreign land, but sometimes that dream can turn into a huge nightmare. So on the 14th of July 2001, a woman named Joanne Leese and her boyfriend Peter Falconio were backpacking across Australia. They were making their way down the Stuart Highway headed towards Darwin. Now 200 kilometres outside of Darwin is the Barrow Creek Roadhouse, which is an old rustic Australian bar roadhouse where travellers would stop in from time to time. So as Peter and Joanne were making their way towards Darwin, they did decide to stop into the Barrow Creek Roadhouse. So they pulled over, they had a couple of beers, listened to some music, played some games of pool, and then decided to make tracks towards Darwin a little later on in the night. As Peter's driving this combi van down this long stretch of road, he kept on noticing in the rearview mirror the lights behind him were getting bigger and brighter. This vehicle was approaching extremely fast, and it got to the point where Peter was driving and this vehicle started flashing the high beams at him, signaling him to pull the car over. At this point, Peter lowers the driver's side window and a man walks over to the driver's side and says, "Mate, your car is letting out something shocking from the exhaust at the back. You've got a problem with the combi van. You need to check it quickly because this is going to turn bad." As Peter's gone to the back of the van, Joanne is still sitting in the passenger seat of the vehicle. Her heart's starting to race a little bit faster. She's extremely uneasy, unnerved, and next thing she knows, she hears a loud bang come from the back of the van. As Joanne's sitting in the passenger seat, not knowing what's happening, she looks outside the passenger window to see the exact same man, the same figure staring at her, this time holding a silver gun, pulling open the door. Now Joanne let out a huge scream, but it was too late. She's in the middle of the Australian outback. Her partner has just been shot at the back of their vehicle, and now she is being tied up with cable ties fashioned into shackles. Seconds could have turned into minutes, minutes could have turned into hours, but the next thing Joanne knows is she's managed to pry apart the cable ties from her feet and she is running out off the road into the bush. As Joanne is running off into the bush, her bare feet exposed to the Australian barren outback, she finds herself a nice shrub and jumps in there and she hides. Joanne hid in these bushes for 5 hours while this man equipped with a torch and his dog were searching for her, getting closer and closer but never finding her. Joanne has to make the decision, I'm either going to die to the elements in the outback or I need to make a run for it. So Joanne gets up and she runs back to the highway as fast as she can. Off in the distance, she sees a set of lights coming towards her and she needs to make a decision. Are these headlights the man that was just trying to murder me, or is this safe passage? Joanne jumps into the middle of the road going, "Stop, stop!" And this road train driver hits the brake and pulls over. This truckie gets Joanne into the truck with him and drives her back to the Barrow Creek Roadhouse. After Joanne is brought back to safety, this news spreads like wildfire, and eventually a man named Bradley Murdoch was arrested for the murder of Peter Falconio. To this day, Bradley Murdoch never pled guilty to the murder of Peter Falconio. Peter's body has never been found. Bradley died in prison. So this case, this story will never be solved.